Hey there, empowered peeps. I'm Ryan to the rescue, and today I'm going to show you how to use the new Ryobi router. The router is a really cool tool that makes nice rounded edges and decorative edges on wood. It also makes grooves in wood for joining them together or for decoration. You can find tons and tons of bits for the router, but for today I'm going to be using this bit kit. And it has several bits in it used for edging and trimming and joining. I'm going to show you how a few of these bits work, but first I want to show you around the tool and also show you how to get everything set up. So this is the grip. This is where you would normally hold it here and here while you're doing the work. This is the Ryobi router PCL 424. It's 18 volt. And it's 30,000 RPM. The coolest part about this router to me is this vacuum attachment, because I like to keep my workspace clean. But it's a little tricky to put it on, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. It goes in place of this little window right here. See how it's made exactly that same shape? But what you need to do is take this base plate off. And before we do any adjustments, we're going to take the battery off for safety. So we need to remove all 4 of these screws. And then you take this base plate off. Now this was where it was a little tricky for me because the instruction manual was not very descriptive and I didn't want to just break this piece of plastic. So now I want to share with you how you can switch this out very simply. So first thing you do is get your fingers up underneath this plastic portion and you're going to push up right here. Then this part is still attached and what you do is you slide it down. So easy once you know what you're doing. Now to attach the vacuum part. You slide these 2 parts right up in between here first and then you push this part down. Voila, it's ready to go. Let me show you from the side. This part slides in right here. And then the bottom you push down. Then we're ready to reattach the base plate. Now the base plate can technically go on either way, so that can be a matter of preference. And then we just put all of the screws back in. Okay, you can actually change out this bit without taking the collar off. And let me show you how to do that if that's the way you choose to do it. First, you need to lock the collet in place so that it's not spinning on you. And you do that by pressing this and then turning it until it locks into a hole in the shaft. So it's locked in. And now you use this little tool that comes with the router and then you loosen it. And you only have this very small space to work with right here. Once it's loosened with the tool, then you can continue to loosen it with your thumb and then pull it out like this. However, I don't like working with this small space, so let me show you another way that I think is easier. You lift up this lever and then press this button right here, and then you pull it right off. This collar comes right off. If you have the older Ryobi router, you have to press 2 buttons in order to get this collar off. You have to press here and here, and then you slide it off like this. Okay, I'm gonna pop in the battery for a second because I wanna show you guys the LED light. When you turn on the on switch, it turns on both the light and the motor. So it's a handy little feature to illuminate your workspace. Now I'm going to take the battery back off and I'm going to show you the easier way to change out the bits with the collar off. So we still push this button like I showed you before and it will hold the collet still. And this collet is the chuck that holds the bit in place. So we use the wrench to loosen up the collet and then remove the bit. This one is a trimming bit. Now I'm going to put in this roundover bit You just slide it right into the collet. You want to leave some space between the collet and the bit, so you can move it up just a little bit. But I've noticed when you tighten the collet, it will push the bit up a little bit on its own. So therefore, you can go ahead in some of the bits, you can start with them all the way down, and then as you tighten, it will move it up. If it doesn't move up on its own, then leave a little gap here. So you hand tighten, and then tighten it a little bit more with the wrench, always holding this button still right here. Now that the new bit is in, we can now put the collar back on by pushing this button and sliding it right over here into place. Now before we lock this back down, we need to take a look at the depth of the bit. And when I do a round over bit, I like for this part of the bit to line up flush with the base plate or ever so slightly below. And the way we adjust that is by pushing this button again, and then we just move the base plate up to the place where we want it. Also take a look right here, there's a depth gauge. So if you know you want the bit to go a certain depth, then you can use this measurement on the side, or you can just eyeball it as you see the bit and how it lays next to the base plate. Once you get the macro or the big adjustment done here, and by looking at the bit, then you can release this button right here, and then you can do micro adjustments right here with this knob. You can just barely move the bit up and down with this to get it just precisely where you want it. Once you've decided on the placement, then you lock this lever back down. This is the on switch right here. And this dial is for more or less power. It goes from 1 to 6. All right, now we have the bit in and the depth adjusted the way we want it, and we have the vacuum attachment on. So now all we need to do is pop in the battery, and we're almost ready to get started. One more thing before we do. Let's talk about safety. Now with the combined sound of the router and the shop vac, you might want to have hearing protection. And even though we're using a shop vac, there's still gonna be some dust flying around. So you might choose to use a dust mask. And most important, please protect those eyes. So let's put on safety goggles. Basically, we need to cover our eyes, ears, and mouth. Speaking of safety, be sure to have long hair tied back, and then also don't wear any loose clothing or jewelry. Now that we have our safety gear on and our router all set up, all we need to do is attach the shop vac and we're ready to go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what some different bits look like and how they function on the wood and what kind of results they produce. So I'll show you that up close in just a second. But first I wanted to tell you to be sure to clamp your wood down in place so that it doesn't move around on you as you're doing this. And then also you always router from the left to the right. So you can stand behind the router like this and move from left to right like this, or you can stand like this to the side of your wood and you can move it forward, which is still in the left to right movement. Now let's take a look up close and see what these bits can do. Okay, that one that I just did is a round over bit because it rounds over the edges. And I had the vacuum attachment attached, but I forgot to turn the vacuum on. So I had sawdust flying everywhere. Now I'm gonna show you a different attachment and have the vacuum turned on this time. So we should have less sawdust this time. Okay, that was still a lot of sawdust, wasn't it? And the vacuum was on that time. Now I'm going to show you one more router bit, and this one will cut a groove in the wood. And when you're going to use this, you're definitely going to want an edge guide. And I didn't have one, but you can also make an edge guide by clamping wood into place. So this one will be my edge guide, and this is the one that I'm going to cut. I also switched around this base plate so that I'll have my straight edge in the front, and that way I can butt my straight edge of the base plate against the straight edge of my edge guide, and that way I'll get a nice straight cut. Okay, this bit that we just used cut a groove in the side of the wood, like this. And this bit that I'm getting ready to show you now cuts a groove in the top of the wood. Okay, that was fun. So I showed you 3 different examples of routering today. One, a round over bit, and then another one, we did a groove in the top of the wood, and then another one, we did a groove in the side of the wood. So when you're cutting grooves, whether it be in the side or in the top of the wood, it's most often going to be to join 2 pieces of wood together. They can be butted up together and then even glued in place. Or it could be to create a slide for a drawer. Or sometimes grooves can even be decorative because some router bits are small and have a point at the bottom. So you can measure off segments in a big piece of wood and router down lines, and then it can end up looking like shiplap. Now, unless you're actually making cabinets or furniture, probably the edge is what you will use the most, either the round over or other decorative bits. But whatever you're making, now you know how to use a router. Routers, we can do it.